Hi, and welcome to the Causality Story Sequencer Quick Start tutorial. Causality is a visual story development environment where you develop your story visually at the same time as writing it. There are four major areas: the script, where the story is assembled from little chunks of text called snippets; the whiteboard, where you arrange the beats of the story; the timeline, which shows the final sequence and analyzes your story; and then the research area, where you prepare and organize beats, and also where you develop characters. Right now, we're just going to focus on the whiteboard and the script. Here on the whiteboard, you develop your story out of beats. A beat is simply something that happens in the story, for example, that he gets into his car, or that he explains where he hid the money. In addition, the whiteboard is divided into lanes, which are the separate layers of your story. Here I have a lane for the main plot. And here I have a small subplot that just comes in once in a while. So this is not very different from just putting a bunch of stickers on a wall divided up into storylines and acts. With one huge difference: it's actually tied to the script. When we arrange the whiteboard, the script literally changes. And if you rearrange the script, the whiteboard changes. So you can work truly visually with your story. It's not just a drawing. Time goes left to right in the whiteboard. So moving beats left and right changes their order. But their vertical position doesn't matter. There are three main ways to create beats. First, simply double-click in the whiteboard and give it a name. Don't worry about the options, we'll talk about those in other tutorials. And you'll notice that a snippet was also created. Secondly, you can stand on any other beat and press Enter or Shift-Enter to create a beat before or after. And finally, you can drag it in from the bottom. You can also start in the script by creating snippets. Simply right-click an existing snippet or the gap between them and select Insert Snippet. Notice that Causality automatically creates a beat in the whiteboard. Double-click the title to give it a name. You can also simply select a snippet and press Enter or Shift-Enter to create a snippet before or after. And for those of you writing screenplays, you create scene headings by right-clicking and inserting a scene heading. Right now, we're viewing the script as individual objects. To read and edit the script without seeing the structure around it, just select Final Script from the menu. And another fun button is Synopsis View, which only shows the beat titles. Finally, let's talk about the basic ways of getting around in Causality. You'll first of all notice that when you click in one view, the other views position themselves. So if I click a beat, the script and the timeline scroll to the right place. And if I click a snippet, the whiteboard goes to the right place. Next, you can take any area full screen using the tilde or escape key. That gives you more room to work on the story. You pan the whiteboard by clicking any empty area and dragging. And press tilde or escape again to exit full screen. If you're working on multiple monitors, you can go one step further and undock certain areas to a separate window you can put on a separate monitor. Next, you zoom in and out by pressing the Tab key. This toggles between an overview zoom at 50% and a work zoom at 100%. So, for going to another place in the story, you press Tab, pan where you need to go, and then press Tab again to return to normal zoom. You can also press Shift-Tab to see the whole story. And you can use Control plus scroll wheel to get to any zoom. Finally, as your story grows, you'll soon need the Push tool. Simply hold the Command or Control key and drag anything. This opens up space in the whiteboard for inserting more beats. So that's really all you need for getting started building stories in Causality, and I strongly suggest taking it for a spin before moving on to other tutorials.